Playing by the rules and making the right moral choices can still end in a rapid plummet into a literal nightmare. We find Joseph at the bottom of this descent. His brothers have betrayed him, stripped him of his identity, and abandoned him in a dry well to be forgotten. Joseph's arrival at rock bottom functions as the logical climax of a deep, inherited family pathology. Surviving these seasons of profound darkness requires us to examine the generational cycles that often dig the pit in the first place. For Joseph's father, Jacob, survival depended on a lifetime of systemic deception rather than integrity. Jacob famously coerced his brother Esau into trading his birthright for stew, then donned his brother's clothes to trick their blind father into granting him the primary blessing. This pattern of division trickled down the family tree, setting the stage for the next generation's disaster. Jacob repeated the cycle by making his extreme favoritism obvious, which effectively isolated Joseph from the rest of his brothers. This toxic environment fueled a jealousy so intense that the older brothers eventually plotted to throw Joseph into the dirt and sell him to foreign strangers. Inherited dysfunction engineers the destruction of the next generation until someone makes the conscious choice to bear the pain rather than pass it on. Joseph entered Egypt as a foreign slave, his previous status replaced by total insignificance in the shadow of the pyramids. Even as a diligent servant, Joseph faced a continuous descent, ending in a dungeon after being targeted by false accusations. This echoes the experience of Job, who sat in ashes demanding answers and feeling that his agreement with God had been violated after losing everything. While Job demanded a trial, Joseph simply continued to use his gift for interpreting dreams, maintaining his integrity without needing to know the reason for his chains. By focusing on the work in front of him rather than the injustice behind him, Joseph suggests that the path through a dungeon relies on trusting a perspective much larger than our own. Joseph's steadfastness eventually pulled him from the dungeon, granting him absolute authority over all of Egypt in a single day. Years later, a massive famine forced the very brothers who betrayed him to travel to Egypt and beg for food at his feet. Joseph faced the same temptation as Samson, who surrendered to his ego and utilized his strength to enact total vengeance by burning his enemies' crops. Holding the power of life and death over his abusers, Joseph possessed every justification to pursue a similar path of retribution. Wielding absolute authority over one's abusers provides the ultimate test of character, overshadowing even the hardship of the pit. Faced with his terrified brothers, Joseph chose radical grace over justifiable revenge. This choice mirrored the moment his father, Jacob, was finally forgiven by the brother he had cheated decades earlier. By absorbing the injustice, Joseph successfully broke the generational curse of division that had plagued his family for years. True strength involves sacrificing your own ego to heal your people, rather than using your power to crush your enemies. This story serves as a reminder for anyone currently feeling abandoned in their own season of forgetting or unexplained loss. The pit serves as a blueprint for preparation. Maintaining integrity in the dark readies a person for a future they can't yet imagine.